Good morning. It is April 1st. Happy old school April. Yeah, I'm still waking up. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to get up to today or what this vlog is going to entail. It could have anything from Batman to Godzilla to Buffy, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, anything that I grew up watching as a kid, and even into middle school too, really. And things I never did get to watch because I was because I was too young and I was a 90s baby. So yeah. And reading wise, I have a pile of possibilities up. I'll have that linked somewhere in the description. But yeah, I didn't become a big reader until I was in high school. I did start reading for pleasure in late elementary, early middle school, but even then it was kind of scant until high school. So anyway.
Home in time for some sprints. I might go out and get food later.
Why does Cassandra look like that? That's not how she looked in the show. The red hair's a different look for her.
Pants, vests, berets, socks, and yes, I have to read that to my kids. Because I love that one. Chicka chicka boom boom.
Pizza! Okay, I just learned that Tubi doesn't have Godzilla movies anymore, and, I want to review that Godzilla book really quickly on this vlog. But, I wanted to watch a Godzilla movie first. That'll kind of go with it. And I'm on Tubi right now, and Tubi doesn't have any Godzilla movies except for one, Godzilla vs. Kong. But that's not what I want to watch. So, I'm going to have to go see if anybody else has them. Anyway. Okay, so I found a movie, and I haven't watched it yet. I decided to run up here and do this really quick because it is getting late. It's after 10 o'clock. I wanted to get this done before it becomes Sunday, so the beginning of week 2. Alright, so what I've read so far is I read the first Dark Shadows comic, the very first Dark Shadows comic, so Dark Shadows #1, and I've also read this book right here, which I'm getting ready to do a quick little review, Godzilla vs. the Space Monster, which I've had for years. I had it since, I think, 1998 when it came out, probably. Might have been even 1999, to be honest. And I did read Rappaccini's Daughter, which was on my pile of possibilities, but it doesn't count since it's a short story, not a novella. So that doesn't count for Old School April. And I have watched some TV shows, attended a couple sprints. The opening and sprints I attended for a little bit, so I think that counts. And I attended Cat Sprints, which you saw as well. TV shows. I've only watched Wednesday. I've been watching an episode a day. So, I mean, I'm over halfway through the season. It's a revisit. And I grew up watching the original Addams Family TV show first on VHS. Because we had a little store called On Cue around here. It's kind of a pricey video store. I think they had other stuff, but Don't really remember. It was a really long time ago. And then I later got to see them on TV Land. So I only had 4 episodes originally, but I grew up watching The Addams Family, so of course I was gonna love Wednesday when it came out. So revisiting Wednesday and really enjoying that. Can't wait for season 2. So let's get on with this. I'm trying to be quick here. So this is Godzilla vs. the Space Monster by Scott Cienson. I'm guessing how to pronounce his name. Trying not to let the glare happen. I'm also getting used to this setup because I decided for vlog updates maybe I would do this at my desk as opposed to over at the library for some different setting. So this follows a boy named Troy, and he gets wrapped up in this crazy adventure, very unrealistic adventure. There's a doomsday asteroid headed for Earth. This space shuttle goes to take it out, but there's this energy that takes control of one of the doctors on board. It's a doctor, a scientist who's going to launch the missile to destroy it. Much of the asteroid does get destroyed except for one little piece that continues to head on to Earth, but King Ghidorah is on there, and if you don't know Godzilla, King Ghidorah is this creature here. I would hope that most people would know more about Godzilla now, since the Legendary Pictures has been doing Godzilla films, and they featured King Ghidorah a few years or so ago in the second Godzilla film that they did. So Troy and his friend Allison, that's probably the Discord because I was on earlier submitting books and TV shows. So they're waiting for this, doomsday meteorite to come, and of course only that fragment comes, and it's like the size of a house. And Troy ends up coming in contact with the being, the entity as they call it, that is inside the meteorite. And he and the entity kind of have a battle of wits, and part of the entity kind of latches onto him. So he has kind of like they kind of even describe it as kind of an AI in him. So in his brain, and this government agency, whatever it is, they actually get a hold of him, and it's kind of weird because his parents are like seemingly fine. You never meet the parents. You just hear about them, like they thought it was best that you come with us too, and they don't hold him captive by any means or anything like that, like in E.T. It's all very tame and rather unbelievable, but it's a middle grade book. And it's only just over 100 pages. It's 108 pages. I still have the bookmark on the last page. Ironically, this is a Jules Verne themed bookmark, and Jules Verne is mentioned in the book. So they join forces with this kid to fight King Ghidorah and find out the whole plan that the aliens from the Nebulous Space Hunter, I think it was Space Hunter H or something. I can't remember what it is. Oh, Hunter D Nebula, which is interesting because in Godzilla vs. Gigan, I think the aliens are called Nebula Space Hunter M. So I kind of wonder if they use that as kind of a reference. But yeah, and they end up I guess he finds out from the entity the only way to defeat King Ghidorah and the whole plan is Godzilla. And Godzilla is on Monster Island with other such characters such as, Kamacuras and Varan and Rodan and stuff like that. And some I've never heard of. And ironically, it shows on the back here with the little emblems, it shows Manda, but Manda's not in it. They have some other creatures that are completely original to this book. This is like the 4th book in the series. I have another one of these somewhere, I have no idea where. I think it might be the previous book. But I hadn't read any of them, and so it was fun. It was unbelievable. I'm stuck between 3.5 and 4. I went for the unbelievability factor. I really want to put it at 3.5, mostly because of that. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and just give it 4 stars, which is what it'd be on Goodreads anyway. I think I'm gonna give it the full 4 stars. Another really cool aspect about it, well, another. A cool aspect about it was you get to be in Godzilla's head. And so I thought that was kind of cool. I kind of wonder if that's in all the books in the series. So, I don't know. But it was interesting. It was a fun little read, so I'm enjoying it. So yesterday, I started this book, Belladonna, by Adeline Grace. This is going to be the longest book probably I read for Old School April. And this one's part of a project that actually Rappaccini's daughter is a part of too. So I did read this a little bit today at the coffee shop, which I know there's a clip that I did. I'm trying to keep track of all my clips, and I've already started editing. So I'm trying to keep on top of things, editing every couple days so I don't have to edit a bunch later on. So yeah, I'm loving this one so far. So this is part of a project along with Rappaccini's daughter, and I'm hoping some other reads, and I even did a reread / listen last month that will be pertaining to that project. So anyway, I'm gonna go watch my movie, and I'll get back to you soon. Really quickly before I go back downstairs. I'm wearing a nostalgic t-shirt today. Very appropriate for the movie.
It was Old School April all over BookTube. I haven't really had time to watch all my favorite booktubers talking about this.
I was in school, and some of those classics I did not get to until I was an adult. But at any rate, in this video, you will see painted edition. And she uses it. She's so basic right there, but right now she's comfortable with Oreo. And I'm going to move Chili's bit out of the way. The only thing is, when you walk into my library, because I have a little library, is that you're in like, the couch is like right there.
So I was a little behind on my journal, but this crafting session, helped me to get caught up on it. Still have some catching up to do, but I got to put in those little pictures. And I didn't make a clip yesterday, but I did start Casino Royale by Ian Fleming. I grew up watching the James Bond movies at a rather young age. I was in elementary school, actually, when I saw my first James Bond on TV. And then I kept watching them because they had them, like, every week for a while there. And they did skip some. But I wanted to read the books since I was a teenager. Hadn't really read them, so I did get a couple years ago, and it almost became an Old School April pick, but it just didn't happen. I got this little set with this makeshift cover. It came like this from the library at their little book sale. So it was only $2. It has both Casino Royale and Live and Let Die in it in audio form. So I don't know how they have these. Oh, there's one of the discs for the audiobook. So I just hadn't gotten around to it, so I thought, you know what, perfect opportunity, let's do that for Old School April this year. I cannot get this thing closed with one hand. Oh, there we go. So I started that yesterday. Actually, while I was doing dishes, I was listening to the first disc, so an extra read.
Unless, of course, the sister would like to spit on you first.
Oh my god. X-Men today.
I'm glad I could be here.
I don't know why my
Wouldn't that have been terrible
TV
for you
is
to be here the whole
picking
entire
up the
time?
feed so
Then I couldn't even
pixelated,
print.
but
Oh my god. And I know my setup's
oh
kind
well.
of weird because I've got this on top of the other laptop.
I don't think I need the halo on today. Okay, so, let me move these out of the way. This, by the way, these are a bunch of Dark Shadows audios that I have. It's not all of them, but that's most of them. Of course, I also have some digital too, so. Alright, so I just got home. I'm a little windblown. It's not as windy today, though, but as it was yesterday. It was really windy, but still a little windblown. I saw Kelsey has sprints going on, so I'm going to join those. Those are going, right now they're on a sprint till like 27 after, so I got a little bit, so I can do this clip really quick before I go back downstairs. Also, I got a package, and so I'm going to open that a little bit later, so I might have a clip for that. Anyway, so I wanted to touch base with this, Belladonna, which I know I've said this already. I'm loving this book. So this is about a girl named Signa. She's orphaned as a baby, and she goes through a series of guardians, and she's getting close to being old enough to get her inheritance. She's like 6 months away, and she goes to stay with her latest guardian at this immaculate mansion. I'm being very vague here because I do plan on doing a review on this, because this is part of a project. I know I mentioned that already, but that's a bit of a reminder. And she stumbled upon a bit of a mystery. So the mistress of the house has died mysteriously, and the daughter is ill with the same, she has the same illness, so she's like close to death's door too, so she's going to investigate that, but there's a twist. A twist for this whole book so far, and I'm getting close to halfway. I don't think I'll get to halfway this weekend, but Signa can't die. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I love the writing, and I'm just loving this book in general. I finished Wednesday, as you saw, and I did rewatch The Great Mouse Detective. I haven't seen that in so many years, so it was good to revisit that. Actually, that spawned me to read. I saw the movie in middle school, and this was when I was just starting to become a fan of Sherlock Holmes, and I had remembered that there was a mouse detective movie, so I'm just like, oh, I'll check that out, kind of Sherlock Holmes as a mouse. And I discovered there's a book called Basil at Baker Street, so I read it. I actually had to, my middle school actually had to borrow the book from another school because they didn't have it at my school. So I did eventually get a copy of it. I don't know if I still have that. I know I also had the second book. I didn't get around to reading that, though. Like I said, I was not a big reader back then, but I did start gradually becoming one. It didn't really hit till high school. So that was nice to revisit that, and it didn't seem like it was that short when I was in middle school. The movie's only a little over an hour. Anyway, so plus it has my favorite actor in it. Vincent Price voices the villain. Finished Wednesday, as you saw. I think I already said that. And I started My So-Called Life, which I actually recently saw a YouTube channel. It's a video that's at least a few years old, though, was talking about it, and I was really curious, so I decided, hey, I'll throw that on there. So I'm liking it so far. There was one character, Angela, I can't remember Angela's friend's name off the top of my head, but I didn't really care for her. But last night's episode, because I've been watching an episode a day just like I did with Wednesday, except for the day I finished Wednesday, I started that show. I didn't really care for her until last night's episode when she was standing up for her and stuff. I'm like, okay, so she's not, I was thinking she was a bit of a flake, but she's not as much of a flake as I thought, so. Don't be quick to judge people, especially characters. Anyway, I'm gonna head downstairs, and I'll see you when I see you.